The Secrets of Technology is brought to you by the StarQuest Production Network and is made possible by our many generous patrons. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit sqpn.com/give. Hi, I'm Dom Bettinelli, and you're listening to The Secrets of Technology, where we discuss the technology news that's important to you from a uniquely Catholic point of view. And joining me today on the panel are Victor Lambs. Hey, Victor.
Hi, Dom.
And Father Joseph Sund. Hey, Father.
Good to be with ya.
Folks, if you enjoy The Secrets of Technology, I bet you'll also enjoy another StarQuest Network show called Let's Science, which is a great bi-weekly or every other week podcast where it's about 15, 20, 25 minutes long. It dives into one super interesting science story of the week, and it's in an Australian accent. What isn't to love about it? So definitely check out Let's Science wherever fine podcasts are found, or at sqpn.com/science.
Everything's more exciting with an Australian accent.
Oh, yes. And, especially when they talk about everything that can kill you in Australia. Those are some of my favorite stories, including the plants. Yeah. So it is week 2 of our annual Christmas extravaganza, where we go and each week we give you some ideas for Christmas gift ideas for the geeks, the techno guys in your life or gals in your life that would probably enjoy a nice gift. Not all, as I said before, not all of these gifts have to be computery or digital. Technology takes many forms, but it's the sort of thing that if we like them, maybe chances are other people who like technology will like them too. So I don't want to spend too much time on the preliminaries, so let's get right into it. Victor, why don't you lead us off with your Christmas gift ideas this year?
Yeah. So if you've been listening to this show when I've been on it, you know that I love everyday carry or EDC tech, for lack of a better word. And one of the things I've been on a quest for has been kind of the ultimate compact multi-tool. And multi-tool is something that has, a knife, scissors at least, some sort of, bottle opener, some screwdriver type accoutrements. And the two that I found that have worked really well for me, and we'll list them in the show notes. There's one that's kind of a little swankier, the Roxxon KS2. It looks nicer. It's just got this really cool kind of rectangular, it looks almost like a stick of gum, only it's, kind of black with this cool finish. And that's really nice. I like that one a lot. So, for $30 or $40, you can pick one of those up and throw it in someone's stocking. Another one I like is there's a Nextool one, and unfortunately they don't give the model number on Amazon, but we'll put the link there. It's even a little bit smaller, and what I like about that one, it doesn't look quite as nice, but the scissors on it are really good, and it also comes with, if you flip it around, there's also a wrench on it as well. So it's incredibly small. You can't really see it, but that's the size that it is. It has scissors and a wrench, and it's perfect if you've gotten into, or the special someone in your life has gotten into carrying, a pouch or, some sort of wallet type thing for everyday carry. It fits in there really well, and it gives you access to, basic screwdrivers, knives, scissors, and in the case of the Nextool one, basic pair of pliers. And so, nice. If you're outside putting up Christmas lights and you're like, oh, there's a staple I need to pull out, or I need to cut this, zip strip or something, you're covered.
When you have it in your pocket, you'll find a use for it. That's what I always say about
that's right.
Yeah. And it's better than going all the way back down the ladder and up again with a tool that you didn't have.
I have to say, I have Roxxon and Nextool multi-tools myself. I have some different models, very different. The Roxxon one is a massive thing. It's like ballast in my pocket. But they're both very good. I mean, they're not knockoff, no name brands. These are decent brands. They have pretty good steel and they're pretty good quality. So, we're talking $38, $30. We're not, this is not Leatherman $150, $200 multi-tools, but it's frankly good enough for most people, most uses. So especially if you've got a young man or young woman in your life in the teens who's ready to have to, to start carrying a tool to, they may be pretty handy. They may be, working on electronics or, fixing things. This is a nice way to get them started, especially if like for instance, if they're a scout, for instance, that would be a nice little tool to have.
Yeah, and on that note, I can also put in a plug for the Victorinox. They make the Swiss Army Tools website. Although, they aren't up there considered with Leatherman and stuff. They make very good tools, very good, multi-tools and Swiss Army knives. And you can get them engraved or embossed too. And so a couple of years ago when our one son turned 10, I got him a Swiss Army. We were watching a lot of MacGyver at the time, so I got him a Swiss Army knife, and on it says, God can fix anything, So
nice,
which is what you want to see when you have to pull out a multi-tool because your radiator hose is exploded or whatever. But yeah, so it's if you want something a little bit more personal, the Victorinox site may still be able to get you something for Christmas that's embossed with a slogan on it.
Very nice.
And yeah. My other pick is so Lego is a very popular gift around our household. It seems like, at first it was just, when you have kids who are maybe between the ages of 4 and 10, they love Lego and stuff. But now Lego has really branched out with their ideas and icon lines. They have things that, they're virtually art, or, they have one that, I gave to my wife last year that she liked, which was this tranquil kind of Japanese garden that has like a little pagoda and a bridge and a stream running through it and some trees growing in it. And it's this really self-contained kind of diorama. And there are companies out there. So, if you give this as a gift, there are companies out there, one of which is called Brick Bling, like, bling that a rapper would wear. But bricks for Lego bricks. And what they do is they sell LED lighting kits for specific Lego sets. And I think the best way to approach this is to go on like a Brick Bling YouTube channel and see what Lego sets they've made lighting kits for. And they've made lighting kits for a lot of Lego sets, a lot of Minecraft sets, pretty much anything that comes out that's in the ideas or icons range, they have a lighting kit for. And it takes some, if you have a sharp 11-year-old in your house, they can probably figure out how to do it for you. You have to watch the YouTube videos to kind of see how they route the wires and which LEDs go where. But once you have it set up, and some of them come with remotes, some of them have a simple switch, you can get some pretty cool, like glowy lighting effects that really take your, this Lego set that you're going to display, but with, low lighting or no lighting, it really makes it pop. The one thing I will mention is that the wires and the cables on them are a little, and the connectors are pretty fragile. However, if you order from Amazon, you can always say, oops, I got a defective one, and send back the defective components and get new components. So we had to do that with one set, but not the other. So yeah, nice. If you want to take your Lego sets to the next level, do that. Our other son, so this is my final pick, is really into Godzilla, and he loves Godzilla toys. And most of the Godzilla toys you buy, they're 6 inches tall, and they might have posable arms or posable legs. But with the new Godzilla X Kong movie coming out, this new Empire, I believe, this year, Jada Toys, Jada, released a 16-inch tall, fully animatronic, fire-breathing Godzilla remote-controlled figure, which is incredibly impressive. We got it for our, like I said, a youngest son who's very into Godzilla. And this thing, the way it moves just like Godzilla. It'll like turn its head as it walks. When you activate the heat, the heat ray, his spines on his back will charge up and light up, and then he'll go rah! And a stream of like steam, because you fill his head with water, will shoot out of his mouth. And it's incredibly impressive. And when it first came out, it was quite expensive. On Amazon, it's still way overpriced, but Target has it on sale now for $35, which for a fully remote-controlled, fire-breathing kind of animatronic Godzilla that is very large. It's about 16 inches high, like I said, and maybe 2 feet long with the tail. If you have somebody who likes Godzilla in your life, this is kind of a no-brainer to pick this up if you can get it for $35 on Target. Yeah.
Looks like Walmart has it for $35 as well. If you're
excellent, yeah.
If you're shopping around.
Yeah, and it displays nicely too. It looks good on a shelf.
I saw this online on TikTok or Instagram. Someone was saying you could set this up with the water vapor coming out of its mouth. You could set it up to automatically water your succulents, your plants.
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And it's remote control. It comes with a remote control.
Yeah, it comes with a remote control that looks like kind of Godzilla's foot or something. And so you can make him walk forward or backward or hit the heat breath button and he'll do the full charge up, animation and then launch the steam out of his mouth. It's really cool. And
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, is the remote control a old style remote control or is it like through an app or something?
No, it's an actual physical thing that looks like a sculpted Godzilla foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking if there was a way to tie that in with your Internet of Things and turn your Godzilla into a security system.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's IR. I don't believe it's IR. I think it's actually radio controlled. But if it's IR or radio controlled, you can very easily set up a Raspberry Pi to.
Well, like last week, Thomas suggested the what was it? The flipper, the dolphin flipper. So you could track down the radio channel for it if you wanted.
There we go. We can ask Thomas to get us that with the flipper, and we can figure it out. I'm sure Jeff Gerling can give us a hand with that too. And
yes, I'm sure. I like the brick bling. I like the Lego lighting kits. I've thought of getting one. I have. When folks watch me on the shows where we do video, like Secrets of Star Trek or Jimmy Akin's Mysterious World, I have a Saturn V Lego set up here next to me. I've got like a smart lighting LED strip under it. But I would love to light it up like a real, like with the kit. This may just push me to do that because I really I like the idea.
For the Japanese Tranquil Garden, I was very impressed. They have like animated blue LEDs that go where the stream goes, and then up in the various trees, they have different colored lights to represent fruits up in the trees, and like there's lights that run along the pagoda, along the base of the pagoda and stuff. And they really, you could just say, here's a LED lighting strip, here, light up your Lego. And they could sell those, but they actually put some thought into, which kind of LEDs and where you're going to put them and how you're going to, wire them through the bricks and then attach the bricks over them and stuff. So like I said, watch their YouTube videos and you'll see, it gives you a whole new idea on like which Lego kits you might actually be interested in buying too.
That's cool. Very good.
Yeah.
Father, what have you got for Christmas gift ideas this year?
Okay, well, we'll start out with my fun and joy over the last month or so. And that is a Synology disk station network attached storage. Model number is DS223J. It's one of the lowest ends of Synology that you can get. It's an entry level one. And so what this allows you to do is that you can have access to your files wherever you are. So it's basically kind of owning your own OneDrive, right? Or Google Drive or whatever you want. But the neat thing about Synology is there's different apps and things that you can install. My use case for it right now is that I've been transferring all my dad's old records onto audio format, and I wanted a way to share these with my siblings. And so Synology has a app that you can install on your phone that's an audio app. And so I set up an account for them all to share on my Synology, in which they can go and listen to music from my drive. It's the beauty of having a fiber internet connection, right? And so hosting all of that for them. And then all the other fun things you can do with a NAS. So if there's a nerd in your life, they will enjoy a network attached storage.
So the great the great thing with the NAS is, especially even with the 2-bay, you can set it up such that it's mirroring, so that you have two hard drives in it, but one is always a copy of the other, so that so it's a kind of local backup, which is good. And so if one drive fails, you haven't lost your materials. But you're right. The key to what makes network attached storage like Synology so good is the apps that you can install, and you do photos. You can run your own photos app. You can run your own cloud storage. You can run your own audio. This one is. I don't think I would put Plex on this one because it doesn't have a good transcoding CPU. But
no, I have Plex on it but I'm the only one using the Plex on it. And
right.
So that's the big thing is I'm not giving anyone else access. So so it's not working too hard. The other thing that I've done, my mother's is photography and has, when I went between all the old computers and everything, it's over 200 gigabytes worth of photos. And so I was able to back those all up and bring those onto my drive just in case she loses them,
right.
That we have all of her photos safe. And so that was real nice, being able to access them on whatever computer you're on, and not being tied down to paid plans by anyone else. This particular device, you do need to buy your hard drives. So it doesn't come with the hard drives, which is nice because then you get to, if it's for the nerd in your life, they're going to have their opinion on what hard drive they want.
Right. And what size.
Yeah.
Well, and the nice thing about Synology too is this is a 2-bay system. You can, if you decide you need to grow, you can get to a 4-bay or an 8-bay system, or whatever, the giant systems they have eventually. You can just take the drives out and put them in a new, Synology, and you're all, you don't have to copy everything over. You just move the drives, and it resets itself for you and saves all your data. You don't have to really do anything extra. So that's a really nice place to start, is with this, simple 2-bay system. That's awesome. Good pick. What else do you got on there?
My second is going to get really in the Christmas spirit here, and that's Christmas lights. We just bought these for our rectory. We were wanting to put up more permanent lights, so we didn't have to put up Christmas lights every year. And what used to be redneck to do now is pretty normal for people to do. And so they're smart lights. It's the Govee Smart Outdoor lights. What I love about this one, it's Wi-Fi enabled, BLE, low energy Bluetooth. And inside the app, people can share their different lighting scenarios and things. And so the different patterns and the blinking and colors and everything that people have made, they share. And just with one click of a button, all of a sudden you have a different strand of lights up on your house that can change. And then, so I have them with a red and green and then a little sparkle stuff going on. But, when July comes, they can be red, white, and blue. And it also has settings in there that can hook to do music detection and all of that stuff. So if you have a big display with music and stuff, it ties in with those too.
Nice. So there are all kinds of Govee light systems right there, and this is just one example. The one we'll have in the show notes is for 144-foot string. That's a lot of lights. And what's nice is right now, as we're recording this, it lists for 170, but it has a coupon that takes $70 off, so only $100 for this system. So that's pretty cool. That's a really good deal.
If you go down to the one that's 48 feet, it's $79, and you can get a $10 off coupon, which will bring you to $69. So if you only need 48 feet, you can get it for $60.
One thing is, I don't think this one does HomeKit. They do have HomeKit compatible versions. Govee does. So just that's the trick when you're buying these smart things is you got to make sure you got to look and see what it works with. That it works with this whatever system you have.
Yep. Our home is this new Rector I'm in is I have it all on the Amazon Echo, the A-Lady, and so that will happen at some time. I'll set up a whole Raspberry Pi solution, or actually I could probably do that on my Synology.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yep. One thing I've seen that Govee has is they have this new permanent outdoor light thing where they're installed.
I've seen those in our neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah, they get installed in the eaves or along the roof line or whatever, and it's expensive, but like it goes up and it stays there. You know, it's permanent, and I've seen them around in houses in my area too, and it looks really, really classy. I have to say, it looks really nice.
Yeah, I saw some of those up. They had them up for Halloween, and they're flush mounted. The light comes out as like this perfect like cone. But yeah, it's $400 for 100 feet. So to put it up on the front of a house might cost you, but yeah, they do look really slick when they're up. Yeah.
Some of my neighbors have displays, these inflatables and all this other stuff. They're spending big money as it is, so I can imagine.
Well, it's the money, but then also where do they store it? Like the other 11 months of the year. Yeah.
I wonder what kind of storage people have for their big, displays things.
Their 12-foot skeletons and stuff.
They have storage units.
Yeah.
And lots of storage units.
Around here, someone kept their 12-foot skeleton up and then dressed it up as Cindy Lou Who and then put up an inflatable Grinch. Yeah,
I'm sure if Jesus were to do the parable now of the farmer with the barns and everything, it would now be about a suburban family with blow up inflatables in their front lawn.
Yes, and the storage unit.
Yes.
All right. And what else you got, Father, for your Christmas gift ideas?
My last one is we're going to go affordable and cheap now. This one's only $8, and this is for those who have dogs. It's called the Joytail QR code dog tag, and so what it does is it's just a nice dog tag with a QR code printed on the silicone, so it's not paper. It will stay through weather. And if your dog gets loose, someone finds it, they can either hold their phone up and do the whole NFC thing, or they can scan the QR code. It brings up a web page that automatically will notify you by email when it's scanned, and then you list your information on there, phone number, so on and so forth, and people can contact you and get your dog back to you.
That's cool.
There's no subscription cost, anything. It's just a one-time $8.
Yeah, no battery, no nothing like that. It's just
that's cool.
If it's a QR code, that is a great idea. It's simple, straightforward, and it's like you said, it's $8.
Lots of different colors for it too.
Yeah, I mean, you see people that they microchip their dogs and that sort of thing, which I can see a collar could come off when we had. I've had cats and dogs, and they can manage to get their collars off, especially if they get them caught on something. So it's not foolproof, but it's a nice idea. I like this. Your dog gets off the leash and runs away. Neighbor finds it, they can call you, and that's nice.
Yeah, I put this on my mom's dog. He's 12 years old, so if he gets loose and gets away, he ain't going far because he's not very fast anymore.
No, not at 12. That's funny, but no, that's nice. That's a good one. Put it in your dog's stocking for under the tree.
Oh, sometimes people's dog stockings are.
Oh, yeah.
Expensive.
What is it, billions of dollars a year that people spend on their pets? So $7.69 is probably the least expensive dog Christmas present out there. So why don't I go with my more of my Christmas gift ideas? This week I got a few ones that were under my tree, or hopefully will be under my tree. The first one is a vacuum sealer, and I've had a bunch of vacuum sealers over the years. I've had the Food Saver. I forget what the last one, the brand name was. And now I have a new one from Anova. Anova got their name out there when they were making sous vide machines, Wi-Fi connected or Bluetooth connected sous vide machines. And this is a natural complement to that, because to do sous vide of a lot of different things, you want it to be sealed in a bag. And so that's what this is. It's a vacuum sealer. And this is it works pretty well. One of my criteria is that it's easy to clean, because, when you're vacuum sealing raw foods, it's easy to get lots of yuck in there, and you want it to be easy to clean all that out. And it's got to be easy to, seal the bags and make the bags and do a good job of sealing them, because that's the whole point. And I've had mine for about a month, and it's been working really well. It's very lightweight. It's not a lot to it. It doesn't feel solid. Like, it doesn't feel like my last one was like metal and heavy. This one is not, but I don't know that that's a bad thing. I think psychologically we've kind of accustomed to this idea that for appliances or anything like that, heavier is better, because it means it's more solid and constructed. I don't know. We'll see in the long run if I made a mistake thinking that it doesn't matter. But this one was very well reviewed, very well in a lot of different areas, and it works really well. And a sous vide machine, a vacuum sealer machine is great, because especially if you have a big family, you go out, you buy large packages of meat, like say at the Costco or the grocery store, and you portion it out to the individual meals. You seal it in the bags, date it, write the date and what it is on the outside, and throw it in the freezer. And then, it won't be freezer burned when it comes to eat it. And, I've had steaks in the freezer for 6 months or more, and took it out, and it worked really well. It cooked up just fine. So, the sous vide, I got mine at Walmart for a little less than at Amazon. I've been trying to shop around a bit and not just reflexively go to Amazon for everything. So Walmart might be a better deal for you if you want to check that out. But it's also at Amazon. I'm just looking right now, and it's $94. So it's a good deal.
Not too bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It only sucks until it breaks.
Right. Then it really sucks, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
I was fixing a vacuum cleaner the other day, and I said, this vacuum cleaner sucks because it's not sucking.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have a tale of woe, and
oh yeah, I'll preview a future pick of the week. Put it that way. I put this on my pick of the week, but my daughter was vacuuming in her closet, and something got sucked up inside. We weren't sure what it was, maybe a sock or something, but it was way up in the hose, like near the top where the curve is, and we just could not get in there. I couldn't even see what it was, and this is the way they design these vacuum cleaners these days. It's not as, in the past, you could flip the hose around, shove it into the thing, and suck it back out. This one, you can't do it. So, long story short, I ordered a new hose, but that was $45, and I'm like, that really rankles. So what instead I did was, I said the hose wouldn't be here till Saturday. So I said, in the meantime, I'm going to get one of those endoscopes, which is basically, it's a long, snaky camera with a little light on it that hooks up to your phone, and it's just so I can see what's in there. And so it came that I did the Amazon same day delivery thing. So I came and I looked in there, and I'm like, sure enough, there's something fabric in there, and I could not quite grab it. So I said, there's got to be a thing where you can snake in and have claws that grab something. And sure enough, there's a sneaky grabby clawy thing that I found on Amazon. I'll have both these in a future pick of the week. And so I managed to get in there and pull it out, and it was my daughter's underwear. So I'm sure she'll be love for me to tell the world on my podcast that her underwear got sucked up in the vacuum. We ended up having to throw it away because, of course, it was too gross to save.
Yeah, no.
we could do a whole episode on vacuum cleaners.
Oh, maybe we should, because I've gone through so many vacuum cleaners over the years of various kinds.
I've found the perfect one that works for me. And in the past 10 years, I bought 2 vacuum cleaners, both the same brand, same model, and they've held up really well. We have 3 or 4 dogs, depending. And yeah,
I'm definitely going to pick your brain on that, because I've been going through the last 10 years. I've probably had 3 or 4 vacuum cleaners. So
There's going to be so many dad jokes during that episode.
It's so good it sucks. All right. So my next Christmas gift idea, the endoscope could be a good Christmas gift idea because I finished the story. The endoscope and the claw grabby thingy together probably cost about the same as much as the hose. So I could cancel the order for the hose, but I still spent the money. But there's so many things that an endoscope and a claw grabby thing could be good for in the future. So I'll be happy to have them.
Never pass up a good excuse to buy a piece of technology.
And a piece of technology, that's a tool. That's like a double header.
Yeah.
All right. So my next one is I feel sure that maybe Thomas had a battery storage device as a pick of the week not long ago. I didn't look it up, but I saw this one online myself here. It is the Ontel Battery Daddy, and it's a battery organizer storage case with a battery tester, and it holds up to 180 batteries of various sizes. Although these days, I don't think I'm using C or D batteries for anything. But there are lots more batteries sizes these days than just the A, AA, AAA, and 9 volt. There are these other rechargeable sizes that go in flashlights that you see a lot. But in any case, this is a really nice, and they come in various sizes. This particular one I'll link. You can do 180 batteries. There's ones with 150. There's one with just 42. That's also doubles as a lantern. And I think there might be even ones that are even bigger than that. And it's only $26 for the 180 battery caddy, battery daddy, battery caddy.
As seen on TV.
As seen on TV.
Oh, boy.
Who's watching the TV these days with ads? I don't understand that. But in any case, I'm hoping to get this under the Christmas tree for me this year because I have like little bins of batteries and a battery charger over there and a battery tester over there. It would be nice to have them all in one place and not have to run around looking for them to replace batteries.
Every 6 months, I buy 100 AA's and 100 AAA's for emergencies, and every 6 months they're completely gone, and I have no idea where they're going. The kids just like need batteries, they're gone. So
and they know where Dad has stashed them. What I'd like to get is this says it stores 12 button cells, but button batteries come in all different sizes, and I think
it's that little compartment on the bottom that you just kind of throw them in there. Yeah.
Throw them in there loose. Oh, I see. Yeah, I want something for storing all the different buttons, the button batteries that I have because I have like all my Internet of Things stuff, and all those things have different size buttons. So, that's
I just have a plastic tote,
I want to find something for that. All right, and then my last gift idea for this week is I don't have this, but it's sort of aspirational. I'd like to have this as well. This is like the Battery Daddy. This is the Anker Prime Power Bank 200 watt, 20,000 milliamp hour portable charger with 100 watt charging base. So this is another one of those Anker gallium something. I forget what they call it. That's the newer charging tech, and it looks like a brick. So it's a rectangular charger that is portable, and it fits in the palm of your hand. It's not very large, and it has a charging base, and the base has ports off of it, sort of like a desktop USB charger, with several ports off of it, with USB A and USB C ports, and it can also do wireless charging as well. And then this brick shaped device goes on top and charges on top of it. And so the idea is you have this desktop unit, and then you take it as you're heading out for the day or heading out on a trip. You grab the portable part of it and you take it with you, throw it in your bag, and you go. And it's 20,000 milliamp hours is a lot. That is a pretty hefty charger. You could charge a laptop off of that. You could keep a laptop charged for quite a while, especially since it's 100 watts. That's enough for a laptop. In fact, they say you could charge 2 laptops off of it, which is, debatable.
Yeah, to go off yours a little bit, one good, if you're looking for cheap ideas to make a teenager happy. Just normal, regular, portable chargers.
Oh yeah.
I get my nieces those quite often, and it never grows old as a present because they left it on a bus or so
yeah. Yep. My pocket chargers are constantly disappearing in my house, so yeah. I know what you mean. Chargers in general make good stocking stuffers, small ones. I tend to, if you're giving them a gift, I tend to avoid the ones like hanging at the checkout at the pharmacy. No. Those are, I just don't feel like those are safe. We're carrying around batteries in our pockets. You know what I mean? I want something a little reliable. So I try to get a brand name, and Anchor is a great brand name. There are other good brand names out there. So, but yeah, that is a great idea for a stocking stuffer. That in phone cases. Protect their phones. They're constantly getting smashed screens.
I don't know how some of these kids read their phones when I see how bad their screens are. Oh, my goodness.
Like jagged chunks of glass sticking up as they're trying to move their finger on it. Yeah. So those are our gift ideas for this year and this week. For me, I'll be back next week when I'll have another set of Christmas gift ideas. This is a hard one for me to do because I got to come up with 3 weeks worth whenever we do this. I do enjoy, seeing everybody's ideas. It's always interesting, and you all have very interesting tastes and insights into tech gifts.
It's fun to go through that master list of all the previous years that we have.
Yes. Yeah.
And to see how things have kind of changed over the years and things that haven't changed.
In fact, I think I don't know if I did it last week. I might have linked to the document so that folks can see all of it's a Google Doc that has all of the gift ideas we've done over the years, and a lot of those gifts ideas are still out there. A lot of products you can still buy. So if you want even more ideas, it's a great place to check it out. Or if you're looking to get yourself something nice for the holidays. So let's move on now. And before we talk about our headlines, I do want to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create the secrets of technology, including Kelly P, Ben and Susie S, Brian T, Tim H, and Ron T. Their generous tax-deductible donations at sqpn.com/give make it possible for us to continue the secrets of technology and all the shows at StarQuest, and you can join them by visiting sqpn.com/give. This StarQuest show is also brought to you by Exodus 90 and the Exodus 90 app. Men, we are called to share the hope and joy of Jesus Christ. Our family, friends, and community desperately need us to imitate our Lord to be radically present and available. What if you intentionally live this Advent season differently, focused not on buying Christmas presents, but sharing the loving presence of Jesus Christ? We want to invite you to join us on the Exodus 90 app and break out of the religion of the world. Join the men of Exodus 90 and Monsignor James Shea, president of the University of Mary, who's our spiritual guide for Advent this year on the Exodus 90 app. Together, we will rediscover the hope that God lays out for us in the coming of his Son into the world. Go to exodus90.com/SQPN to learn more about Advent on the Exodus 90 app. That's exodus90.com/SQPN to join men from around the world this Advent starting December 1st. Be radically free in Jesus Christ this Advent. So our first headline is about Amazon getting into yet another area of the economy. This time they're selling cars. Car salesman. Jokes come to mind. Amazon is trustworthy like a car salesman. But no, what they're doing is they're launching an online new car e-commerce business that works with dealerships. And right now it's just Hyundai dealerships in, it says 48 U.S. cities, including Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York. So what you can do is you go on Amazon, you can search for available vehicles from participating dealers by model, trim, color, and features. You can secure financing and even sign the paperwork right on the website. And then once the payment is finalized, you can schedule your pickup at the dealership. You don't have to talk with a salesman. You don't have to, go to the finance manager's office and get Simonizing thrown in for just a little upcharge or any of that stuff. It's supposed to be even more convenient. What do you guys think? Is this better for us? Is it a better way to buy cars, or do you think it's just more dehumanizing and removing the human factor from life?
Yeah. I mean, in most states, cars need to be sold through a dealer. So all Amazon can really do is aggregate, dealer listings and put them in a web front end. And probably the dealer pays them like, $100 if they sell a car through the Amazon portal. I'm not sure exactly how this is working. There's really no advantage to it for the consumer, except if you happen to already be like on Amazon, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, would the advantage be the convenience of doing it all without having to go to a dealership and deal with paperwork and the financing office? And I mean, to be honest, that's the part of buying a car that I dread. I hate having to deal with constant wariness of the salesman the finance manager trying to sneak more money out of me.
Yeah. Hasn't CarMax and Cars.com and all of those been doing that for a while, though?
But only used cars.
Okay, so this is new.
And Amazon is only doing new cars.
And right now, it might be the perfect storm of the market right now, because if you've had to buy a car lately,
oh yeah,
buying a new car right now, it's probably one of those times where people buy new more than used because the price difference is.
People are holding on to their used cars, not selling them, and so used car prices are higher
than some of the new ones.
Yeah, and very close to what new cars are going for. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if I were looking to buy a car right now, and they were offering more, I'm not sure. I'm not the sort of person that buys. I don't think I'd buy a Hyundai. I just don't like their cars.
No.
But if I were in the market for a car and they were selling the brand that I wanted, I'd probably go to the website and look at least and see. And I like the idea of making the process easier. I mean, I think I've kind of revealed that of removing the yucky parts of the process.
I mean, to be honest, when I have the choice between going to Walmart and going to cashier or self-checkout,
oh yeah,
I usually take self-checkout. I mean, and when I have the choice between getting it delivered to my door or driving to Walmart, when I'm doing Walmart stuff, I'd rather have it delivered to my door, right? And so, honestly, I'm not really looking for the human element when it comes to buying a car and buying batteries. Like,
I don't know. We had our oldest son is now out in the world and working and needed a vehicle. And we honestly had no idea what would be right for him. If it was like a used car, a new car, buy or lease, like what do we do? We have an old car in our garage. Do we fix that up? And we actually went into the dealer, and I think we must have, confused, the car salesman there, because we walked in and we were like, we have no idea, but this guy needs a car. And he probably thought we were trying to like play him or something. But he sat down with us and went through all the pricing and said, if you get a used car, this is what you'll pay now. This is what your situation will be 2 years from now. If you get a new car, if you lease a car, and it turns out in my son's situation, leasing a car for 2 years was the right decision. But that was nothing we could have really figured out ourselves without, sitting down and talking through someone. And, and then, there's documentation you need if you're going to do financing and stuff. And at some point you need to talk to a person in order to, I don't think there's ever going to be, maybe there will be a touchless, where you don't have to interact at all. But I found the human interaction there very, very helpful in this particular case. It's, would you buy a house off of Amazon?
And you make a good point. Like, if you know exactly what you want, sure. I mean, you're looking at it online. But if you don't know what you want, and you want to literally kick the tires and take it for a test drive, and how does it feel when I sit in it? Yeah, I mean, there's no substitute for going down to the dealership and sitting in it.
Here's my thing: is what I spend so much time in my cars, like few thousand miles a month usually, right? And so, looking at the car online, I need to sit in the car, in the seat, in the driver's seat, and know what that car feels like, to know if I'm going to be spending a large amount of my life sitting behind that wheel. And I'm not going to be able to tell that from a website.
Right.
Plus the average new car price now is like $48,000. And that's, I think, you kind of want some personal interaction and some time with the product if you're going to spend that much.
Yeah. I'm remembering the last time I bought a car, going to the dealership, and I knew I needed a sedan. I didn't know what kind or all the features, and the salesman just seemed so impatient with me and so aggressive about, you need to choose this and that, and it just felt to me, and maybe it's just the salesman I had. But maybe that's part of my reaction is how often I've had unpleasant interactions with car salesmen and finance managers that, some alternative or at least some competition seems attractive. But you're right. There are those downsides of eliminating that human element, too.
I would say go car shopping with your, adult or young adult kids, because then you can play kind of like astute consumer or dumb consumer, and you can play like the different roles and say, like one person can ask all the, the annoying, sharp questions. The other person can be like, well, that sounds like, and you could just play off a good cop and bad cop,
I make my wife good cop, and I can be bad cop, because that sounds like fun.
I feel really removed from this, because most of my car shopping has been small town with parishioners that are car dealers. So it's been a long time since I've had the high pressure car salesman experience.
I have very limited experience with dealerships and car salesmen, but I've had good experiences with the one here in town that I go to.
There's the one going back 30 years when I bought my first new car, and the salesman basically started yelling at me for being indecisive young people. I'm like, this is a big purchase, my first very big purchase. I need to think about it a little. Young people need to be more decisive when you're spending $20,000 or whatever that ridiculous amount of money was. It's like, I'm not sure that's actually the good advice here, but thank you. So let's move on to our next headline. The last one was from TechCrunch. This one's from TechCrunch as well. Google says its new quantum chip indicates that multiple universes exist. Now, come on, TechCrunch. I think you took it just a little far. So what's going on here? So Google announced this week that they have this new chip called Willow, which is a quantum computing chip. And quantum computing is a whole new kind of computing architecture and way of building CPUs and computers. It's very technical, but basically it relies on, instead of ones and zeros of a transistor inside a CPU, quantum computers rely on something called qubits, and they can be on, regular transistors are on or off binary. Qubits can be on, off, or something in between. And they have something called quantum entanglement, which means that they can somehow, we don't even know how, things that are quantum entangled can affect each other over very large distances. Like, presumably, I think they've theorized out to, at least out to the moon distance, where light speed can be ruled out as being part of what's going on. It's the distances greater than light speed could be accounted for, I think, if that makes sense.
So they've hypothesized that the only way these computer chips could possibly work, given our understanding of science, is if there were parallel universes that these chips were somehow drawing energy from in order to do what they do. And so say it with me here, technologists should not do metaphysics. Yes, Galileo, you've invented a very, very good telescope. Your telescope is very impressive. You've polished the lenses in a new way. Yes, but that doesn't make you qualified to speak on the nature of the universe,
Right.
and God and morality. No, you've just designed a very good telescope. And in this case, yes, you've designed an impressive, computer chip, but it doesn't mean that you've discovered parallel universes. And if your math doesn't explain why your computer chip works, like, check your math. I mean,
Well, the thing that made them, that's sort of at the root of this idea that it must be borrowing from other universes, is that it did this computation in under 5 minutes that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers something like 1,000 times the life of the universe, the length of time that the universe has existed to do it. Which I'm not sure.
guessing
How do
they-
you even?
I'm guessing they wrote the test for the processor. It's kind of like, wow, this NVIDIA processor runs games that are optimized for NVIDIA processors really well. If I ran this on a non-NVIDIA graphics chip, it would not look as good.
Yeah, the idea that it's like five minutes versus 1,000 times the life of the universe. Like, how do you even calculate that? Like the difference, like that it would take that long. I just something is wrong here. Somebody put a zero in the wrong place.
I think they hired J.J. Abrams as their press person, and so he's just using time travel to explain everything when he messed up the plot line.
Sure. That's not to say that quantum computing is a farce or false or anything like that. Quantum computing, it is really cool. It may be the next leap in computing that we get. Because we're rapidly reaching the limits of what we have today. We're almost down to 1 nanometer processor architecture, which you can't get much smaller than 1 nanometer. That's the width. That's like 8 molecules. 8 atoms wide or something like that. We're just getting to the literal physical limits of the universe. So we need something new to continue to make our computers faster. And so this is another possible way we can do it. But it's like a lot of these things that someone says something, in a sort of an offhand or side, aside, and everyone kind of leaps on that instead of on what the real interesting thing is, which is we have this computer that is potentially way faster. Now, why aren't we using quantum computers today? The problem is that the more qubits in the computer, the more error prone it is. It's a function of the way
It's guessing.
quantum. Yeah. So they do say that they've developed an architecture within the Willow where it does its own error correction over time. So it's less efficient than it could potentially be, but it's more accurate. But less efficient, it means that it's still way faster than a regular computer. So I hope it's the beginning, but
Old or new, you still need to power your computers, though, and that's what some Bitcoin miners are discovering here.
that's our next story, right? In Texas, a major Bitcoin mining company has purchased a wind farm in Texas, and they're taking it off the grid in order to use it to power just their Bitcoin mining operation. One of the big controversies of Bitcoining is that all of these cryptocurrency miners, they use massive amounts of electricity to power their thousands of machines that do the crunching of the calculations to get new crypto, whether it's Bitcoin or something else. And so this people are kind of like, we're already having an energy crunch. Now you're taking power plants offline to power your mine. Now, it's important to note that the way the power grid works in Texas is different from most other places.
Yeah.
Texas has something called ERCOT. I think it's called ERCOT, which is they have a grid that is separate from the rest of the country. And so when their power plants can't provide enough power to the grid, they can't buy it from somewhere else. This was the cause of a lot of the blackouts and power issues a couple winters ago through most of Texas. However, this wind farm was not part of that, according to this article in the Houston Chronicle, but is part of a different Southwest power pool, which connects to Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Sorry, Father, no more wind power for you from Texas, from this farm. But what do you think? I mean, on the one hand, they're not taken from the grid that powers our homes.
Well, that powers Texas homes are just taking from the grid that powers homes in South Dakota, Nebraska, all the other homes. Yeah. I mean, power generation is a zero-sum game. If you're not, if you're using it to power Bitcoin mines, you're not using it to power homes, and you could, so everybody else's power costs go up because power is taken away that could have been used to power their homes and lower their prices. I would only buy a wind farm in one situation, though, and that would be to raise it to the ground because they are a blight. They are ugly. They are horrible. They're noisy, and they should all be destroyed is my technology perspective for the day.
I've lived among wind farms for too long. Most of my parishes have been surrounded by wind farms, and the farmers hate them. The companies who put them up don't clean them up when they go kaput. And they're constantly repairing them. I've not seen, it just seems like they're always replacing the blades on them.
Right.
And then they need oil. They're lubricated by drums, huge drums of oil.
Right.
And so you're sitting there going, okay, how much energy are you putting out with all of this oil? And
the energy it takes to build them and put them up and maintain them.
The parts aren't biodegradable or recyclable. So when those blades go, you're left with a 50-foot long landfill filled with these huge blades that will never ever decompose.
And then some of them have to suck electricity from the grid to power down the windmills to the brakes when it gets too windy.
Right.
So to do the reverse, so they suck power out of the grid for their safety features.
Right.
So, Victor, maybe we could start a huge thing where we buy wind farms and
decommission them.
Yeah,
violently decommission them.
What do you think of the idea, though, of Bitcoin mining companies, creating their own power supply, whether it's solar or wind farms or hydro or whatever it is, separate from the grid, so that they're not taken from the grid, but they have,
does Pampered Chef or Amway or any of these other pyramid schemes and need to be powered not from the grid? I mean, if you want to have a pyramid scheme, that's fine. If you want to have a multi-level marketing scheme, that's fine, but you don't need massive amounts of energy to do it.
Well, this one you do, like whether it's a pyramid scheme or not. There are. I mean, we're kind of getting into an argument about whether cryptocurrency is valid or not. But philosophical argument about that.
Yeah.
Dom, you're asking the two guys who both hate wind farms and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I own some crypto just because I bought it as a experiment because I wanted to learn more about it. I don't. Maybe there's a whole another episode to talk about the cryptocurrency pro and con. That might be worthwhile. I just was kind of wondering I'm a little ambivalent about the idea of if they have to exist, maybe it's better if they aren't sucking the power out of the grid, because that is a real problem right now. It's the same thing with the big data centers. Whether it's Google or Apple or Microsoft or whoever or OpenAI now, they have these, or Amazon, they have these huge data centers that suck power out of the grid. So some of them are building their own energy production of various kinds. In fact, I think it was Facebook that was looking into developing micro nuclear reactors. So we may get nuclear power back here in the US.
That. Like those, what are the Generation 4, Level 4 nuclear reactors that are basically the size of the ones on the submarines. There's not enough fissionable material to actually go critical. So that, aside from, some spent fuel rods that you need to bury in cement, you're pretty much good.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think France has really been. I think France has been on the forefront of developing those, and so I kind of like the idea of these things becoming more self-sufficient, so that it doesn't affect the rest of us who can't afford to build our own power stations.
As long as they leave my graphics cards alone, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll see. Maybe we should do that episode on cryptocurrency. That might be an interesting little debate. All right, so those are our headlines. Let's move on. And again, like I said last week, since we are doing a gift guide, we're not really going to do picks of the week like we normally do. That would seem redundant. So last week we talked about our favorite Christmas music. This week we're talking about our favorite Christmas movies. And Victor, why don't you share with us your favorite Christmas movies?
So I don't like Christmas movies. I will just say that up front. I hate Christmas movies. They have nothing to do with Christmas. There's some Hollywood notion of what Christmas is about that always misses the mark. You know, they're there to appeal to the, people and not, I don't know. I just don't like Christmas movies. But there are two that I will watch that I can tolerate. One of which I enjoy. Actually, I enjoy them both a great deal. The first is The Muppet Christmas Carol. And so this is when the kids are awake. We'll put on The Muppets Christmas Carol. I love the Muppets. I've enjoyed them since, I was, born. So half a century now. And this is like, classic Jerry Jewell. I think he wrote it. Classic Muppets humor. Michael Caine is excellent in it as Scrooge. The songs are wonderful. I love it. And I will watch this movie every Christmas until I die because it is my favorite, even though the Christmas Carol itself has nothing to do with Christmas. Speaking of my theme. And then when the kids go to bed, we'll put on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And that is actually more about how I feel about Christmas. That it's all about the energy and the activity and the things that you do to make your family have the perfect Christmas. That ultimately don't mean as much as just being together, with your family and your friends and loved ones on Christmas Day. So, I saw that one in the theaters when it first came out, and I still like it a lot. I know not everyone does. But if I had to watch something that actually had something to do with Christmas, there was a Will Vinton. Will Vinton, you may know as the guy who started Claymation, California Raisins, Michael Jackson videos in the 80s, The Noid. But he was, I have to watch the documentary about his life, but he was, as far as I could tell, pretty devout Christian. And in 1987, he did a Christmas special, the Will Vinton Claymation Christmas special, which you used to be able to find on YouTube. Yeah.
Sorry, this week we talked about this last week because this
you did.
Jack Barazzini's pick for best song was one of the songs from the special. It wasn't Joy
nice.
the World. What was it? I'll look quickly, but you can find parts of it on YouTube. It was Here We Come a Wassailing. There was this pick.
The waffling and but watch the Joy to the World sequence from that, because it is transcendently beautiful when you consider that it's being made out of sand that's just being manipulated by artists and stop motion and stuff. There's some clay and you can actually see the fingerprints kind of moving through the clay and then the sand. It's all about celebrating joy and the birth of Christ, and I do like that in Christmas. And if more Christmas movies were about that, I would probably like Christmas movies.
Is it only 30 minutes long?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes long. If you can find the whole thing, watch it. It's pretty funny.
It's on archive.org.
Okay, good.
Oh, good. That's good. Excellent. Those are two. I've had actually Holiday Road as an earworm all day.
Holiday Road.
Because someone on Instagram said the Darth Vader scene from Rogue One he's so scary in that you could set it to any music and it would still be Darth Vader would still be scary. So they did it Holiday Road. They weren't wrong.
That is good. That is
Lindsay
good.
Buckingham. Yep.
How did it happen, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
And it is telling that the only villains in that is the Dink couple with no kids. And they're the only true irredeemable villains in the entire.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's real nice, Clark. Real nice.
Yeah.
My mother's that movie was written about my mother's family, but.
One of my favorite parts. We should do that actually for Secrets of Movies and TV Shows because it's such a great movie. And because it's so much about Christmas. my favorite part, I laughed so hard when I first saw it the first time, was when he got stuck in the attic and he's watching the video, the movie, and someone opens it up from below and he just disappears. And it's the physical comedy of that, the unexpectedness of that was, I still remember how much I laughed at that. I was on the floor. So, excellent. Well, Father Joseph, what do you pick for your favorite Christmas movie?
Die Hard. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Gremlins?
I had to troll and call Die Hard a Christmas movie. A Christmas Story is just growing up with it. Most people I talk to about A Christmas Story say that they think they've watched like bits and pieces of it on TBS, but they've never seen the full thing because it's always on. What is it, Ralphie? Is that right?
Ralphie, yeah.
My brother, when he was little, looked like Ralphie, and so we kind of made a big joke out of that. So just a great movie, and you'll shoot your eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out. Well, and, I mean, the fact that they show it as a marathon, a 24-hour marathon every year on TNT and TBS. They started on TNT to move to TBS in 2004. For the past 20 years, they've done it every year. 24 Hours of Christmas Story. So you're gonna catch part of it. All you have to do is just turn it on, TNT at some point, and you're gonna catch some part of it. But yes, that and there's always the memes going around about how the scene at the Chinese restaurant at the end, they didn't tell the mom, played by Melinda Dillon, that the guy was going to chop the duck's head off. So her reaction is actually a true reaction in that scene and that sort of thing. I like to pretend that Darren McGavin's character is actually Kolchak from Kolchak the Night Stalker, just like married and settled down with the family. That's why he's so high strung. Yeah, it is a major prize, though. Yeah. Yeah. So it's hard. I'm the opposite of you, Victor. I'm not the Grinch. I do love Christmas movies, but my favorite is I like the Christmas Carol movies, all the different kinds, Patrick Stewart and the George C. Scott, all the different ones. But my favorite is going to be the Albert Finney musical adaptation. Yes. I don't know. There was something about I love musicals anyway, and it just there's something about the songs in this one that really I don't know. They always get me toe tapping. Including my favorite song from the movie is "Thank You Very Much." I love the idea of the Christmas Carol, which is the realizing what's most important in life is not the acquisition of money and the keeping of it and being worried that others are trying to take it from you. But what's most important in life is family and love and friendship and helping others. I don't know. I just kind of love it. And of course the Victorian ghost of, the ghosts and the that sort of genre is really nice. The Muppet Christmas Carol is also up there for me as great Christmas Carol versions. So definitely like that. So I do want to give you one software pick of the week because it is timely. It is related to Christmas, and that is this app called Festivitas. And I'll put a link in the show notes. Don't try to spell it, but it's how it sounds at festivitas.app. And all it does is, if you're on a Mac, all it does is it puts a string of colorful Christmas lights across the top of your screen under the menu bar. It's adjustable. You can adjust how much they droop, how big the lights are. I didn't like it drooping so much, and I didn't like how big the lights were, so I made it smaller. It's very understated. It's very nice, and it really harkens back to the days when you could you get these fun little apps to do weird, quirky things with your computers. And I'm sorry, guys, it's a Mac only app. You can't do it on your Windows. I'm looking up here and I see something on Windows called Santa Buddy, which puts a little gorilla on your Windows PC, or Santa's Advent calendar. So I think that there are some for Windows there.
All the Windows things come with spyware and adware. That's how Santa knows if you've been naughty or nice.
Why am I just hearing about this for the first time right now?
Santa's spying you, and it breaks through all of your, like, he knows if you've been using incognito mode or private browsing.
Donate.org. SQPN.com/give.
That's right. That's when Santa knows you're being nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you give to SQPN, that will counteract the naughty. So Santa spyware. I love that. All right. So that should do it for us this time. Before we go, we want to ask you, to look to you. What did you think of anything we talked about this time? Any of the gift ideas? If you have any gift ideas, we'd love to hear them. What are your favorite Christmas movies? You can let us know by commenting on the show at sqpn.com/technology or the StarQuest Facebook page, facebook.com/StarQuestMedia. Send us an email to technology@sqpn.com or visit the StarQuest Discord community at sqpn.com/Discord. You can find the links from our discussion and our picks of the week on our show notes at starquest.fm/TEC281. Be sure to write a review in Apple Podcasts or anywhere that you're allowed to write reviews of podcasts. We really do appreciate that. That's the number one way we get our podcast out before new listeners. That and you sharing the podcast with your friends. That helps us grow. Until next time, Father Joseph Sund, thank you for joining me and sharing the secrets of technology.
Thank you. Have a blessed Advent and a Merry Christmas.
Victor Lambs, thank you as well.
Thanks, Dom. Merry Christmas, everybody.
God bless us, everyone.
And once again, I'm Dom Bettinelli. Thank you for listening to the Secrets of Technology on StarQuest. Bah humbug. Hi, folks. This is Dom Bettinelli, CEO of StarQuest. Over the years, the StarQuest network has continued to grow as a unique Catholic apostolate, bringing faith and culture together in ways that educate, inspire, and entertain. We're thrilled to have so many loyal supporters whose generosity makes all our shows possible. It's also a reality that over time, some of our supporters will step away from their giving. It is also true that the financial support that sustains this mission currently comes from fewer than 1% of those who enjoy our podcasts and videos. If we're to continue producing this life-changing content and expanding to reach new people, we urgently need new supporters to join us and current supporters to increase their assistance. This Advent and Christmas, the time when nonprofits like ours receive most of their support for the year, we're asking you to prayerfully consider becoming part of the StarQuest mission or increasing your support. Every gift of every size has a lasting impact. To make your tax-deductible gift, please visit sqpn.com/give. That's sqpn.com/give. Thank you for being part of the StarQuest family, and may God bless you abundantly this Advent and Christmas season.